This channel sometimes receives comments seeking to portray UAP in a negative light, as if a threat to planet Earth. Those who do this refuse to truthfully answer follow-up questions, revealing their less than educational agenda. There are valid reasons, however, for why UAP might wish for some humans to perceive a threat. As you're about to see, one of these is tracked all the way back to 1952.
The sky is the stage, the actors, so-called flying saucers. And they're back on the scene with some new twists. Rumors about the saucer mystery fly almost as fast as the strange sights themselves. But suddenly the Air Force takes off to intercept unexplained objects in the sky over Washington.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States. Of this great mass of reports, we have been able adequately to explain the great bulk of them. However, there have been a certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things. It is this group of observations that we now are attempting to resolve. We have, as of date, come to only one firm conclusion with respect to this remaining percentage, and that is that it does not contain any pattern of purpose or of consistency that we can relate to any conceivable threat to the United States.
With eyes wide shut during the summer UFO flap, General Samford may have received orders to calm the public out of widespread panic. His pronouncement that UAP pose no threat to U.S. national security will be repeated 16 years later with the 1968 Condon Report that terminated Project Blue Book. If you think about it, this wording was demotivational. It led the majority away from the historical record and future UFO sighting reports that hint at advanced science yet unknown to humans. It returns their attention to more conventional work, breeding, home building, travel, entertainment, consumption, and sleep, all of which is more cooperative to the chosen U.S. economic system. If that outcome is ultimately undesirable, then UAP may maneuver to reestablish the threat perception with some, so as to drive a wider distribution of humans toward research and understanding.
This incident you had in 1951, you saw literally hundreds of unidentifiable flying objects.
Yes, they were flying quite high. How high we couldn't tell because we couldn't get anywhere near their altitude. But they were either very large craft way up or smaller craft still well above what we could get to. We sent a report forward on it, and the answer that finally came back months later was they were probably high-flying seed pods, which didn't sound very logical.